Hello and welcome to this Checkmate in 2 chess puzzle. So the black king just has the bishop, 4 pawns. The white has 3 pawns, the knight, the rook and the bishop. It's white's turn. Can you see the checkmate in 2? If you move the rook to e4, black can push the c pawn. Then you can check the king with the knight to h4. Black can't move the king, but they can take the knight with the bishop. You can then move in with the bishop to g4 to checkmate in 3, but not 2. If you move the rook to d5 and black pushes the c pawn, you can checkmate in 2 then by moving the bishop to b7. Black doesn't need to do that. They can push the a pawn, and then it takes a couple of moves to get the bishop in. They're only checkmate in 3 and not 2. If you push the h pawn to h4, if black takes with the bishop, you can then move the rook into f4 to checkmate in 2. But if black moves the bishop to take the pawn on e3, then there isn't a checkmate in 2 this way. If you try to check the king by moving the knight to say d4, the king has escape squares and it isn't possible to follow up with a checkmate in 2 this way. Okay, let's take a look at the solution to this one. So pause the video if you need more time. So to checkmate in 2 for white, what you need to do is move the bishop to a6. Black pushes the b pawn, you can then move the bishop to e2 to checkmate the king in 2. If black pushes the c pawn, you can move the bishop to b7 to checkmate the king in 2. If black takes the pawn on e3 with the bishop, you can then move the knight to h4 to checkmate in 2. And if the bishop moves to f4, you can take it with the rook to checkmate in 2. There's actually a second way to get checkmate in 2 by moving the knight to b5, taking the pawn. If black pushes the c pawn, you can move the bishop to b7 to checkmate in 2. And if black tries moving the bishop, you can move the knight to h4 to checkmate the king in 2. That's the end of this video. Please like and subscribe, it will really help out the channel, and I'll see you again soon.